Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, so on my drive home from work today, and it was a long slog. It took me about an hour and a half to fight my way home through traffic. I started listening to Libby from Meister Tarot's reading on Adam Schiff. And as she's starting off, she started talking about Katie Porter and was noting that Katie Porter, since she was running for senator, did not run for the House. So she's actually going to be out of Congress in 2025. And then she was like, okay, well, what is she going to be doing? And she started saying, oh, I kind of see her working for Kamala Harris. And I'm like, I want to do a reading on Katie Porter. So I had to stop listening to Libby's broadcast. So Libby, I love you, dear. I'm going to listen to it after I do this reading because I really want to find out what was going on with Adam Schiff and Katie Porter, but I don't want to be biased into this. I really need to do one quick pause here. Hang on for a second. Okay, we successfully paused. Sorry, this is pathetic. It should not be difficult to pause and unpause, but sometimes I fail. I wanted to find out what's next for Katie Porter going forward in 2024. Since she will be out of Congress, that leaves her wide open for powerful positions in the Joe Biden government. Now, as much as I'd like to see her in Congress still, can you imagine Katie Porter being like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau director? Something along those lines. She has shown a knack for standing up for the little guy against corporations and wealthy people that run them, and just calls them right to the carpet for their BS. So putting her in a position where she can set up policy and rules, guidelines, regulations to protect consumers versus corporate greed would seem to be like a soft toss, underhanded toss, softball toss to her, and watch her crush it out of the park. There could be other things too. I mean, my knowledge of government is rather limited, which is why I had to pause. I had to look up to see, could she even be nominated for something like that? I suppose she could. So go on down. Let's see what's up with Katie Porter for 2025 and beyond. Entertainment purposes only. And by the way, in case you're not familiar, I love Katie Porter and her whiteboard. I think she is a badass. Okay, my deck is upside down. What's Katie Porter going to be doing in 2025? There's negotiations going on. I don't see her joining like a PAC or something along those lines. I think there's negotiations going on what to do with Katie Porter, because what you have here is you've got this. She's a wonderful orator. She speaks really well. She's very intelligent. Her team gets her very well informed, and she understands the information she's given, and then she can come up with analogies or visual cues to make it really simple for the common person to see. So what do you do with somebody who's really good at being seen and being heard? You have to take advantage of that person and put them in a high value area. Page of Wands, where she's going to go forward and enact new messaging, new actions to be taken involving money. And we go from the Page of Wands as the cross to the Knight of Wands. So it's going to probably be something she's new at, but just because she's new and unfamiliar doesn't mean that she is not the right person for the job. It's just she has to get familiar and up to speed. Once she's up to speed, this woman's going to have a plan, and she's going to move that plan forward. Love me some Katie Porter. In the past, you got the Empress. She's a mom. She's a professor, if I'm not mistaken. And again, looking after people, looking after the little guy. She is a blue dot in a red district. She has won that district. That is not a Democrat district that she's won. I believe it's Orange County. That is a conservative district. And she's won it because she actually does stuff. This is like, honestly, I do believe that this is one of those few Democrats that Republicans can stomach and vote for, because she doesn't shove her necessarily her social agendas in your face, but she does stuff that helps everyday people with what do they call it? Kitchen table items or kitchen table issues. She's really, really good at it. God, can you imagine what Congress would be like with 435 Katie Porters in it? And, or I should say the House of Representatives, and then the Senate with like another 100 Katie Porters, followed by an administration filled with Katie Porters. You don't know, my celebrity crush on Liz Cheney can go away if you give me a Katie Porter. The current situation for 2025 would be the emperor. It's almost like, first off, whatever position you put her in, this is her taking care of people leading up to this position. She's going to be getting a leadership position. Again, like a director of consumer protection or something along those lines. Something where she's going to be in charge and she's going to just drive things. And whatever department she's in, they're going to love her in it, because that's just who she is. I was going to say, the emperor is like, where's my queen? There's my queen right there. You got the empress, the emperor, so both parents there, and the Queen of Wands. All this action that this woman takes. We go to a page, to the knight, to the queen. Gets stuff done. And she's always looking forward. She is really good at looking down the road, seeing what's happening, and then instituting changes, basically navigating the ship to address what's coming down the road. She sees it, she acts on it, and she's watching. She's taking care of people, and she's going to be in charge. Lesson to be learned. Seven of Swords. This is not Katie Porter taking bribes. This is not Katie Porter stealing from people. This is Katie Porter. Who is she looking at? The guy who's looking over his shoulder to see if he's getting away with it, and not looking at who he's about to walk into, because she sees what he's doing. She is going to she's like the type of person that's going to find the Bob Menendezes of the world. She's going to find, all the shady dealings that are going on. Maybe not all, but she's going to find shady dealings that are going on, and she's going to address it. Corporations stealing from consumers, trying to skirt the rules. These fake supply chain arguments that they're making, which is why we have such high inflation with like food prices that haven't really come down, because they don't want to. They have monopolies. These are pretty much monopolies at this point. She'll be looking at stuff like that. Outcome is the Knight of Cups. They're going to come up with an offer for her that is going to allow her to do these things. Take care of people, be in charge of a department, lead it, see what's coming down the road, stop corruption, and they will go forward with an offer for her. And she's going to take it. And she's going to be good at what she does. Because, again, Katie Porter, I wouldn't, how would I say it? She could be a good ambassador, but I don't think she wants to be an ambassador to a country. She wants to be an ambassador to the American people and the kitchen top issues. Basically, she's a mom in a minivan, and she wants to reach out to families that have moms with minivans in them. Those are her people. That's her tribe. And this woman's going to lead them. I love Katie Porter. I know, I get in the comments, you're so biased against Trump. Yeah, I'm also really biased for Katie Porter. So I do have friends that are conservatives, and they can't think of any Democrat that they'd want to vote for, I'll pull up a Katie Porter taking down the pharmaceutical industry, or taking down the baking industry, stuff like that. Insulin. Why are you charging like $300 for insulin? What have you done to improve it over the last 50 years? How come the price hasn't come down? Instead, it's going up. Just kind of stuff that a friend of mine who I hold very dear, my friend Chip, who's a conservative, man, I can get him on the Katie Porter train no problem because he's sensible enough to say, hey, you know what? This woman's working for me. I'm okay with that. It's not, oh, she's on a blue team, so I don't vote for her. He's like, oh, let me look at the person, see what they're doing. Now he defaults to red. Sorry, but he's a good person with a good heart. All right. Katie Porter. Will she continue a political career later on down the line? Again, running for the Senate or cabinet posts or something along those lines. What can you tell me about future for Katie Porter's political career, if anything? Well, she's always looking forward to it. Planning. Waiting for the opportunities to come in. However those opportunities look. And she's open-minded. Now, in some ways, when she ran for this Senate seat, she had to sacrifice her House seat, her seat in the House of Representatives, to have a chance at the Senate. I don't want to say it was a once-in-a-lifetime chance, but, California senators tend to hang around for a while, as, Dianne Feinstein would show to you. And Barbara Boxer, I think, was the other one, right? And so, she took a chance, tried doing something different. She looks at things in a different way. And she had to sacrifice her House seat to do the Senate. It didn't work out, but you know what? It gives her the opportunity to now do things differently. Look at different things that she would have been locked out of had she been in Congress. Again, as a blue representative in a red district, she is a rare commodity, and she was never going to get out of the House of Representatives that way because you don't want to lose that advantage. In the past 5 Cups, she's disappointed. She wanted that senator position. She knew she would be good at it, and she would. She would have been very good at it. And, now it's kind of an uncertain future, but it's going to be certain. She's going to be fine. It's just, where is she going to land? In some ways, it's like breaking up with your boyfriend, and you're upset that maybe that things didn't work out. But you know what? There's other fish in the sea that you can be checking out. And now you have an opportunity to start a different relationship. Look at something differently. And what's the current situation for her future? Ace of Wands. It's talking about opportunities will be presented. And she will be able to grab those opportunities. And she'll know good opportunities when she sees them. When they're offered, she will know them. It's just as I was saying, it's not the Knight of Swords, but here's all the opportunities. And here's the person saying, yeah, no. Keep coming with the offers. She's not going to take the first thing that's dropped on her lap. She's waiting. She's going to be really selective as to what she chooses because she's got time to be selective. Lesson to be learned. She is going to be whatever she lands in with her future politically, wherever she lands, she's going to be really, really happy. I don't think this is a Supreme Court position. I don't think that's her wheelhouse. But I think, could she go back and be a senator? Yeah, that's a possibility. Could it be a cabinet post? That's a possibility. But whatever it is, she's going to be good at it. She's going to have people working for her that are top notch, and she is just going to be a force. And she'll take it, and she will go on it, and she will be amazing as she starts a new chapter of her life. We don't know what it's going to be, but I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be good. All right. One last thing just because I like to do those. Just because, heaven forbid, I stop at a 15-minute video when I can make it a 20-minute video. For those of you who complain that my videos go too long, sorry. I start getting into it, and they take as long as they take. Sometimes, like the Donald Trump ones, they take a half an hour, especially if I have lots of questions. But what's the spiritual message to Katie Porter at this phase of her life right now? As she finds herself out of Congress, what's the spiritual message that Katie can take away from this? Either what she was supposed to learn from her time in Congress, or what she's going to learn at this current stage. I don't care. Just give me a spiritual message here at this time in her life. All right. Ace of Cups. Passion. And it's not her crying in her tea. I reject it. No. She brings a lot of passion to everything that she does. That's a driving force in her. And I think that's actually a really card. No, Ace of Wands is also... pretty much all the aces are good for Katie Porter. But this is describing her passion. The Nine of Swords, anxiety, things that keep you awake at night. Okay, yeah. Her passion is... stuff that causes people anxiety. This is not her personal anxiety. It could be. She might be a really anxious person who's, talking with their shrink right now. But I think it's more, if we're talking spiritual lesson, is she understands what keeps people up at night. That's what drives her. Because she suffers just like they do, but she's uniquely capable of keeping a lid on it and not letting the emotion overcome her. So instead of, sitting in bed like, oh my God, what am I going to do? She takes that energy, she puts it in the cup, she puts the lid on it. It's like, you stay there. I'm going to remember what you taste like. But, for right now, I don't have time to be in despair. I've got work I need to do. And there's your work card. And I will go forth and I will do the things I need to do this. And I will use my passion, the energy or the heat that's coming off this cup, instead of opening it up and letting it just sort of disperse, she keeps it focused. And she uses that focus as energy to get stuff done. And she has her eye down the road. She's not necessarily looking for the next opportunity, but what she's doing is she's looking at the next steps. So, okay, I've got this passion. I've got this drive. I've identified an issue. What do I need to do to drive it? And where am I driving to? She doesn't just drive the car. She actually maps things out. She has a plan. She puts the plan into place and puts it into... she initiates the plan and then sees it through. Awesome. Okay, now we'll end the video. Thank you very much for supporting my channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for your likes and your shares, your comments, and everything you do to help support my channel and get it out to a wider audience. To folks who have just recently discovered this channel, welcome. Glad you found us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.